Alright, I was in Wilmington and I was Ubering around and I decided to stop by the Magic store. Well, Cape Fear Games. Get some Magic cards. I didn't have brought no cards with me. My cards are here and crap. So I walk in there. I probably made like 30. What did they say I made? Like $36, 35 or something. I thought I only had 27, but when I went to cash out, I guess the last trip hadn't registered. That shit jumped up to about 35. So I didn't have any idea what to do because I hadn't been into Magic lately. I mean, I didn't know what color I was feeling that day. I didn't know what set or realm I wanted to investigate. So at first I was like, well, how do I feel right now? I was like, with the earrings I've been trying to order, which I have returned tonight. Canceled the second order too. I was like, maybe I should go artifact. And I was like, I don't feel very blue, red, green, anything. I was like, maybe I feel white. Because despite the disappointment of those damn earrings and shit, I still bounced back. I found something to be happy about. I was optimistic. So I was like, maybe white and artifact. So I started looking up some cards. And then while I was talking to the dude at the register, he was talking about different sets. He mentioned Nicol Bolas. And I was like, I hate Nicol Bolas, the dragon, for what he did to a monkette. The beautiful plane of a monkette, that's Nicol Bolas. And he ruined that place. So I'm like, you know what? Since I hate Nicol Bolas so much, why don't I team up with the motherfucker? So I get on there and I'm like, well, how much is a Nicol Bolas card? I know those are expensive. I never was able to buy one. But the drink was like $6. So to start the shit off, I bought Nicol Bolas. And I looked at his mana cost, what it takes to bring him out, and there was a whole bunch of different colors. So I'm like, okay, if I want to play with him today, or her, or whatever, I'm going to need a lot of colors. So I'm looking at the artwork. I'm like, come on, Nicole, give me some kind of inspiration. What direction should I take with this deck? And it just occurred to me, like, maybe what am I most strong with? I would say blue magic, because that's what I studied the most. So I was like thinking, maybe I'll just take the blue magic. And what I learned about blue magic is not very evil. It's like water. If you pour water into a cup, it's going to take the form of its surroundings. It's not going to do much. It's not going to destroy the cup unless it's just too much water for the cup to hold or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take the water or whatever I choose, and I'm gonna take the dark side of it. What would I do? How would I go at it if I was evil? If I was using what I know about water to destroy some shit. So I start thinking my philosophy of what I know about blue magic and all that shit. But some crazy way, I ended up looking at a Sphinx card. Not a Griffin, which I have studied a little bit, and I can't wait to get into it. I completely disregarded the Sphinx. They're close to the same kind of thing. Hybrids, flyers, feline, human, whatever. So I'm like, yo, I hate Nicole, and I'm going with him. I'm going to go with Sphinxes too. So I decided to get a whole Sphinx deck. Off Sphinx. So this is a very powerful one. One of the only ones that really did much for me. And it did a lot. Now look at this. It's going to take 3 different colors plus 5 of any color. But it flies. They can't block it unless they fly in. It's first strike. So if it hits another 6/6, it hits that one first. They don't hit each other. Vigilance, every time I attack with it, instead of tapping it until my turn and then activating it again to fight, it stays ready. And every time it hits something, it gains 6 lifelink. And what really helped is it has protection from red and from green. Now with commander games, you have your commander sitting up in the corner. If you pay the mana cost, you can bring them out. I don't know, they just want you to have a hero or commander or whatever. But this dude ended up swinging with He had like 19 1/1 tokens. So that's 19 creatures for a 1/1. But he buffed up two cards. One of them was swinging for 37. The other was swinging for 38. You only playing with 40 life. Protection from red and green. They were red. So he hit me with a 38 and a 37. I blocked the 38. It has protection from red, so it doesn't damage it. And then I blocked the 37 with something else, and basically sacrifice that. But let me continue. So I ended up playing with all these colors. You see, you'll see why soon. Most of it's blue, and I ain't gonna lie, I was looking up all the Sphinxes, so it's not like I had much of a game plan. Whenever an artifact creature you control deals damage, you put a 1/1 blue Thopter, a 1/1 token. I had this out, and it helped me destroy one of the dudes before on the last turn of the game. They thought they was gonna gang up on me for 2 hours and never hit each other, and I fucked around and took one of them out on the last turn before the 38, 37 with his 19 different tokens and all that. And then he had a line of creatures, and the other dude ain't even attack him the whole game. They going after me. Okay, Shapeshifter Pirate. Alright, I bought this because at one point I bought all the Sphinxes I could find and shit, and I still needed like 30 cards for to make a 100 card commander deck. So I looked up what are the strongest ones. Blue and red. If you attack with a creature, you may have this enter the battlefield as a copy of any other creature that's on the battlefield. So his 38, if I would have swung and this was in my hand, I could have brought this out as a 38 copy of his shit. So we got all these colors. Magister Sphinx. And those guys said this was a good card, but I never brought it into play. Fine. When it comes into play, target player, his life becomes 10. I'm not going to read the text because I haven't got to study. I already had this one, but something told me go ahead and buy one. Whenever you cycle, that's an ability, cycling the card or discarding the card. Target creature gets -2 to its attack. So basically, I had a bunch of Sphinxes. Sphinx of Lost Truths. My back is fucking hurting, damn. I can't even sit in the bed and look at something. Okay, kicker. So as I cast this for 5 mana, if I pay, what's this, 2 more, one could be any color, one has to be blue. When it enters the battlefield, I draw 3 cards, but if I paid the 2, I don't have to discard 3 when I draw 3. Okay, an instant. I don't remember getting many instances with this Sphinx Revelation. Didn't even look at it. I gained X life and draw X cards. So however many I spend, that's any color, not the 3 that you see. I gain those. Listen, they don't seem like they're much of anything, but this fucking deck can do something. Because basically the whole game, even though they were ganging up on me and they were pros and vets, they couldn't block anything because all my creatures are flyers. Sphinx said the final word. They're flying. And they're all like 4, 4, 5, 5. They just cost a little bit to come out. So you got these tournament players that are ready to demolish the board in 3 turns. I'm not halfway ready to bring this out. Shit, man. My battery's almost dead. My fucking back is hurting. What the fuck, man? Zoom in before my battery dies, please. You're not gonna zoom. Since the final word can't be countered. When I bring it out, they can't counter it. Flying and hexproof, so nothing they do, none of their spells can even hurt this. Instants and sorceries you control can't be countered by spells or abilities. final word. Sphinx said its final word. And then this was one of the strong ones, or it might have been one of the strong ones I looked up, needing something to fill up the deck. Flying. First strike. Vigilance, it doesn't tap. Trample, if it hits them and they got a 2/2 and it kills a 2/2, the other 2 that's in this fort tramples over the day life. And I'm gaining 4 life. If I pay all these colors when I cast it, then I just use it as an enchantment on a different creature. And that creature gets 4/4 and has all those things. And if that creature dies, it becomes it becomes its own creature again. Argent Sphinx. This did come out in the game. Didn't do much though, because I don't even know what Metalcraft was. But it's a 4/3. Unesh, Criosphinx, Sovereign, legendary creature, 4/4. Sphinx spells I cast cost 2 less mana to cost. Whenever it or another Sphinx enters the battlefield under my control, reveal the top 4 cards, show them to a player, and they can put them in 2 stacks, 2 and 2, and I get one, and the other goes in on the bottom of the library. Prognostic Sphinx, flying. Discard any card, and this gets hexproof until the end of the turn. But I have to tap it. Whenever it attacks, I scry 3. I look at 3 cards and put them back on the top or put them on the bottom if I don't want to draw them on my next 3 turns. I got so many mana. Goliath Sphinx, flying, 8/7. Now take 2 away from the cost if I had that other card out. It's only going to cost 5 mana. With an 8/7, that's about an Eldrazi that's flying. Take 2 away from this. I mean, it'll be 4 still. 5/6. Flying. Discard 2 non-land cards with the same name. Well, commanders don't have the same name. You can only have one. This was out there. But it only blocked the 38 and died. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2 of the top cards. Okay, this is one of the motherfucking most powerful ones that on the site I've seen. Cloud of the Dominus. It's an enchantment. As long as the creature it enchants is blue, it gets 1/1 and has Shroud. It can't be the target of spells. If it's red, it gets 1/1. It has haste, which means as soon as I bring it out, it can attack that turn. This finally came out at the very end of the game. I don't even believe she ever attacked. But yes, she did, because she had haste. Flying with haste is a 5/5. Whenever a creature is dealt damage by this, and it dies from that damage, I put a 1/1 counter, it gets 1/1 stronger. And whenever it deals damage to a player instead of his creatures, I draw a card. Yep. It took forever. This came out in like the last 2 turns because I had no red mana out. No reds came out for me. Sphinx Disciple. I already had this, but I bought it today anyway. So whenever it becomes untapped, so if it attacks on my next turn, I untap everything before the turn starts, I draw a card. Sphinx's Herald. I believe I've been had this. Artifact creature. Pay 3 mana and tap this for that turn. Sacrifice a white creature, a blue creature, and a black creature. A sacrifice, that means I sacrifice my own. Search your library for a card named Sphinx Sovereign. Sphinx Sovereign and put it into play. Day of the Dragons. Why did I get this? When it enters the battlefield, exile all creatures I control, then put that many 5/5 red dragons on the field with flying. And when this leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all dragons I control and return the exile cards to the battlefield under my control. Bell Tower Sphinx was in there. I've been had it, but I never used it. Something about this was good. Whenever a source deals damage to this, that source's controller puts that many cards from the damage from the top of his library into the graveyard. That never happened though. Wind Reader Sphinx. Did I have two of those? Whenever a creature that's flying attacks, draw a card. So if I got all those Sphinxes on the battlefield and they attack, I'm drawing about 13 cards. I don't think we even got into the good stuff yet. Jalen Sphinx. Damn, I had two of these, but I ended up putting one back, and they were only 30 cents each. I took the $36 and spent every dime. Had 3 cents left. But this, Flying Vigilance, it doesn't tap it. At the end, it's only a 1/5. Whenever it attacks other creatures that's attacking, get 1/1. Other ones. This was one of the most powerful ones I looked up. Zombie Horror. I wish it would have came out. Flying and Haste. Whenever opponent casts his or her second spell on their turn, if they do too, I draw a card. Horde of Nations. Legendary creature, Elemental. This was my commander. I bought it because it had every color of mana I could play. Oh, when you got your commander up there, you can only have cards with the colors that are showing. So most of the time it'll be any color here, but that's just colorless. Like if it has a symbol with a color, you can use it. The little 1 or 2 that can be any color, that's just like for artifacts or something. And if I pay 1 of every mana at any time, or has Vigilance, Trample, and Haste, I can play any elemental card that's in my graveyard back on the field. Come on, almost done. Should be. This is one of the most powerful ones, I'm guessing. Yeah. Merfolk Wizard. Whenever you cast my second spell on each turn, I draw a card. My heavy hitters ain't showed up. Conundrum Sphinx. 4/4. Whenever it attacks, each player names a specific card. Then they reveal the top card of the library. If it's that card, they can put it in their hand. If it's not, it goes on the bottom of their library. Mana Leak. I also looked up cards that could help me get mana to play all this shit that I got. And this came up on a list, but it wasn't one of those cards. Counter a spell unless the owner pays 3 mana. Dax Duplicate was one of the ones that came out as powerful. You may have this enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature that's on the battlefield, except it has haste, so it attacks right then, and dethrone. That means whenever it attacks the player that has the most life, or tied for the most life, it gets 1/1 on it. So if I would have turned it into a 38/38 and hit the dude that owned the 38/38 that had never been attacked the entire game, had 40 life, and then it would have been a 39/39. If he would have blocked with his 38/38 and killed it, it might have still been there. This was one of the strongest artifacts that I could find on the internet. At the beginning of my upkeep, that means as soon as my turn starts, I draw a card. You already draw a card to start your turn. Then I draw a second card. Now if I kick it, that means tap this and all it is the artifact. It's not going to fight anyway. It deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So I think I had a card that said if any artifact does damage, something might happen. Okay, Sphinx of the War Owl. Flying a Shroud. I can look at the top card of my library that I'm about to draw my next turn, and I can do it at any time, and it's a 5/5. Sphinx Summoner. I'm a little worried because I got some cards that should have showed up. Sphinx Summoner. Artifact creature. It's a 3/3. When it enters the battle, when it comes into play, search my library for any artifact creature card. Reveal it to show everybody and put it in my hand. Then I shuffle my library. This was one of the strongest artifacts on the list that it's just a land. It comes into play tapped. It's one of the ones that help you get more mana. So when I tap it, it's just a blue mana. But if I get rid of it that turn, I add 2. I can do it can be 2. Seer Sundial helped me out. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, so say I got 4 mana out there, and you know all these need 5 and 6. So when I put the 4th one out there, I can't really do nothing. So I tap 2 of the other ones. So I had 2 mana. Then I draw a card. I pay 2 and draw another card. That helped. So every turn, once I had about 10 mana on the field, every turn I would just do that anyway and draw. Sphinx of the Usul. Flying. When it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of my library. Separated into 2 piles. Let them do that shit. Is my homeboy is in the last card. Enigma Sphinx. This was good. It didn't come in though. When it is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put it back in my deck. 3rd from the top. Cascade. What does that mean? Let's see. Cascade. When you cast this, exile cards off the top of your library until you done exile a card that's non-land, not a mana, that costs less than this, which is 7. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. If I do that, put the exile cards on the bottom of your library in any random order. And then I got a mana, and this was the one I bought to set it all off. And you see all the colors you need. Now I had beef with Nicole Bolas because Monquette was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. He destroyed it, but he never came out tonight. I remember when I said that Magister's Sphinx, that shining one, makes any when it comes into play, I pick up on it and their life becomes 10. I think. So it comes out as a 5. If I add 3 when my turn comes around, I destroy a permanent that's not a creature. So once I do that once, it has 8. Alright? So my first time, when it first comes out, is already going to be 8 because you can do it as soon as it come out. So if I take 2 from that 8 and go down to 6, I gain control of any creature. I could have did that shit and got his 38 and his 37. If I just do this twice, then it becomes 11. If I add 3 the first time, add 3 the second time, it's 11. I take 9. It deals 7 damage to target player. Oh, and that player discards 7 cards. Then sacrifices 7 of his permanents. That's what I had 2 cards that did that. That made their life total 10. So yeah, the Sphinxes are all about 4/4, 5/5s. They're all strong. So this is how the game went. The game starts, and I had just made the deck and shuffled it a few times. They say it take like an hour of shuffling before you really have your cards fully integrated. Because you'll think you just shuffled it in 5 minutes, and then if you go through it, you'll have 10 manas in a row with nothing in between. That means you'll basically lose a game because you got 10 turns you ain't gonna draw no card that you can use. But so it was like that, and then these 2 dudes are out there. The one dude already beat me like once or twice because his goblins, the same dude who had the 38, 37s, he was beating me because after a few turns, he had these cards that kept adding 1/1 tokens, 1/1 goblins. He had a bunch of goblins. Then he kept pulling his card that said for every goblin you get, you add 1/1 to the toughness of something or something. So after a few turns, his little 1 card was already swinging for 10, 12 or whatever. Or worse. So he beat me a little bit. And then another dude jumped in. He was like, your deck might play completely different if in a game with more than 1 person against you. And he hadn't even seen my cards because nothing really came out. So the dude jumps in and he's good. So as soon as the game starts, they start attacking me. They're going at me. Like every turn come around, both of them attack me. And they would never attack each other. I didn't see them attack each other one time. When he was trying to, that was crazy. He had 2 strong cards. He was like, well, I'm going to swing at you with this one, and I'm going to let this second one hit you. Then the dude was like, listen, man, listen. don't do that. I know you're trying to be nice, but and I'm already about dead anyway. He's like, you need to hit him with this because he's gonna block it, and then hit him with that, and hit him with every token, and all that shit. So dude's like, okay. So he swings everything at me, you know. So that dude had 40 life at the end of the game. when we was on the last turn, he had like 40 life. But I was using my little flyers that didn't come out for about 6-7 turns anyway. I only had that one with the vigilance and all that. That's all I had. And it took like 5 turns for that to come out. And once it came out, they stopped attacking me for a second. It was like, oh, all these cards we got, if any of them get blocked by him, they're gonna die. We're not ready for that. So I'm like, damn. They were doing all their combos and shit, but at the end of the day, after all my turns come around, 4-4 would have took any of their shits out. So after a while, they stopped attacking me. I started getting more Sphinxes out. So every time I got a chance, I attacked the dude who was doing that talking and shit. Because, I don't know, something about him. Nobody attacked the other guy at all, so I'm trying to wear him down. So they'll have me down to like 26, right? And they both got 40. And then somehow I hit him or whatever for about 12. So his 40 becomes 28. My 6-6 got lifelink. My 26 becomes 32. But it didn't work like that. But when I was down to 25 or whatever, it made it so that I was at 29. He was at 30. When I was down to damn 19, he was at 20. But it was just me hitting him. And I was gaining life to get up there. 6 life. So in the end, he had 19 and I had 4. And the dude already has his 37 and 38. He has 19 1/1 tokens, 9 that had summoning sickness that would have been ready to fight the next turn. And he had a whole row of goblins out, his real goblins, and they was all 2s and 3s. And I got 4 life. So it's my turn. That dude had just went. It's my turn, and then he about to kill somebody. Who you think he about to kill? So I count up. I done realized that one of my cards, the one that gets a 1/1 token every time it deals damage, I hadn't used it the whole time. So I'm like, damn, I should have had some 1/1s out. I could have blocked more of his. So that turn before that, I was like, yo, I forgot about this ability, so I put 1/1 out there. They forgot about that shit. So I count up all the damage I could do flying, because they couldn't block me not once with nothing. None of them could reach up in the sky. And I'm like, oh, I could do 19 damage. They done been fucking me up all game, trying to lynch me or something. So I hit dude for 19, took him out the game. I'm down to 4 life. And it was already over because dude was about to swing with 100 worth of damage. So I hit him and took him out the game. You know, I should have added 6 life to my life. I had lifelink. But he was like, oh man, if you'd have let me live, I had this card. It was going to take him out. I'm like, dude, if you'd have let me not get hit 1 turn, maybe I'd have let you live. I was like, yo, you want to know I ain't let you live? Do you really think I would have lived to see that turn? With both of y'all coming out swinging, and you got a card in your hand to take him out, and I got 4 life. That's why I took him out. But it was good because for about an hour, they wailing on me. And then I'm down to 4 life, and he got half his life, about 20, and the other dude got about 40, and I took his ass out the game. Flying. So anyway, that's how the night went. I lost, but it didn't feel as depressing driving home. Anyway, alright. That's the end of the video. I don't know how I might look. And I was so tired, man. I got here and I just was laying down and just fucking... I got up after about 2 hours, an hour, and made another leftover burrito and shit. Or 3. Came back in here and ain't did nothing. I ain't played a game. Just nothing. I can't figure out what I want to do tonight. Alright, well, Milky Tay, I'm out.